Let's talk Ether. Ether is now down significantly following the Ethereum network merge. This coming as the SEC declares jurisdiction over the blockchain. Now, joining us to discuss this, we've got Yahoo Finance's David Hollerith. David, okay, just start at the top. Help us break this down. From the Ethereum network merge, why has the price been kind of so volatile around this merge specifically?
Yeah, Brad, originally it was sort of, labeled as a sell the news event, meaning that the upgrade went off without a hitch. But as a result, it was sort of priced in, and the market under tighter macro conditions, didn't really respond as well as people had hoped. Expectations were high, and honestly, with this upgrade, a lot is promised, but not much was delivered on the day except for a massive energy supply cut. But getting back to this question of securities, the main change, though, with this upgrade is that it eliminates crypto mining for the Ethereum protocol, and instead it relies on a process known as staking. Now, in staking, network participants have to pledge capital in order to validate transactions. And this, of course, caught the attention of SEC Chair Gary Gensler on Thursday, the same day the merge was completed. And he pointed out that this process of staking could trigger securities laws. Now, the question is it's a big question mark in the eyes of crypto investors. Something like this has been talked about for a while. And the CFTC, for example, has made public comments sort of alluding to the fact that Ethereum or Ether could be viewed as a commodity. However, Chair Gensler of the SEC he's been very careful never to make any sort of statement about whether or not Ether is a commodity. So there's a lot of unclarity here. Obviously, if Ether were to be considered a commodity, crypto businesses would find it preferable as the disclosure regime is much less intense. But then there's also this question of whether or not staking, since the majority of staking that validates the Ethereum network is based in the US, whether or not that means that the blockchain, in a sense, falls under US jurisdiction. So a lot of questions here, and we're sort of watching this. This has been talked about for years, but the big point here is that sort of Ethereum changes as an asset, or at least the point of argument is that Ethereum changes as an asset post-merge. So now we're sort of watching and waiting to see what regulators and businesses are going to argue.
Yahoo Finance's David Hollerith. David, appreciate the breakdown here. A complex matter, and many of us perhaps still trying to wrap our heads around it, especially in correlation with the price moves here. We've seen some more price moves throughout the morning, and that's on Bitcoin as well, as we've been tracking that down by about 2% right now. And this is on some interesting news as well, or actually now you're seeing it up by about 1.7%. So we'll keep a close eye on that movement. But earlier it was down by about 2%. We also saw MicroStrategy. That was lower by about 2% here pre-market, and particularly on some of the buying news around that.
Yes, so MicroStrategy came out and said that it had bought about 301 Bitcoins from August 2nd to September 19th. It paid $6 million in cash to do so. Its average cost of acquiring those Bitcoin, $19,851. That includes fees and expenses. That means that now it has about 130,000 Bitcoins on its balance sheet. Those Bitcoin is now higher. Not sure about MicroStrategy here this morning. The company had previously filed to sell as much as $500 million in stock just about 10 days ago. So it was sort of preparing potentially to do this. The shares are still a little bit lower, but they've definitely come up off the lows where we saw them. Michael Saylor, who is one of the most outspoken supporters of Bitcoin, of course, stepped down in August as the CEO of MicroStrategy. He's still the co-founder, and he still is going to be a very vocal advocate for Bitcoin.
Yes, indeed.